Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us on Daybreak Extra. Now let's kickstart the show by taking a look at the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper there. Now looking at the front page of the Daily Trust, it says that's a major story, that tax reform for whose gain? Now that's the question. Bills not against North. This is of course from some people trying to defend, to make some defense, saying that this bill is not for against the North. So basically there's a lot of chaos going on for this. Another writer is saying we will fight proposed laws. This is according to Professor Zulum, that's the governor of Borno State. And this is something that we saw how it happened from the National Assembly. Yeah. There was chaos.
Not little.
It wasn't little because it was almost at the feast level.
Yes, because I can remember seeing Senator Ndume saying he's actually
furious.
Yes, like he was furious and kind of agitated.
Yeah,
about the tax bill, and he was like, you can do whatever you want, but I'm saying my mind. You cannot take it away from me. So which it's good to see that we have people that are trying to fight when they see something wrong. So it's not everyone that is bad at the end of the day. Truly,
because their constituents voted them in, and as much as they're trying to paint it as though no, it's cool. I mean, everyone has to be charged as it should, but we know that the northern part of Nigeria does not have industries. We don't have industrialized economy in this part. So if at all that bill is going to be the same and be generalized, then it's going to hit the northern parts really hard. Agriculture is one of the things that the northern parts are known for, and then right now half quarter of them are not farming, and it's because of insecurity. So if we don't have so if we don't have generated, we cannot generate internal generated revenue enough, how can we pay taxes? So the northern part is still at the point of taking more poverty. More poverty comes from this place.
Poverty is actually, I keep saying that, is dwelling in the north.
It is dwelling. It's becoming too much. I mean, the fact that in 2024 everyone is upgrading, people are growing, poverty rates are reducing in some part, but it seems especially in the northern part of the country it's going more down. Just from 10 years ago, a poor man could afford the basic amenities, but right now it's becoming more difficult. And with all of this now, there is this tax bill that is supposed to get us to shrink from the same people that are still battling with poverty. I see why
it's affecting everyone.
Of course,
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who, whether poor, rich, tax is tax.
Tax is tax
for everyone.
Exactly.
But then you have to look at the situation. The economy right now, it's not good enough for you to say, okay, yes, you want to still gain more from the people. That's the question.
From the people.
To whose gain, So for whose gain?
Yeah.
So it's a good question to ask, because you can't just keep putting pressure on your citizens simply because you want to achieve certain things in the country. But look at the situation, then you can reshuffle.
At least exactly. Everyone should give according to what they're in, and I think that's what our northern leaders are fighting for.
Different things, from the removal of the subsidy to different things. Just
the protests that came with a lot of chaos, and insecurity that is still growing in the northern part.
This year that people are still battling and trying to digest and consume whatever pressure they had to go through. But then this coming again at the end of the year, when it's basically like 14 months at the end of the year.
It's really difficult, and I'm grateful, honestly, at the point where we see Arewa Consultative Forum still having their internal battle, which I think they should quickly sort out and concentrate on what is happening in the north. But then we're giving kudos to our legislators, representation from the northern parts, putting their foot forward, saying we have to do right by the people. So kudos to you, and we hope you do better and do right by the nation. And also, Mr. President, Nigerians, appealing to you, please look more into this bill to favor, everybody in the country. Now, yes, this is the major story on the Daily Trust. Make sure you deep dive to understand every details that it entails. Now, below the headlines, that's the top of the major story there. It says 8 dead as boat carrying 200 people capsizes. This you find on page 17. Really sad one there. I think that happened in Nigeria again. No relief for Kaduna community exposed to hydrogen fluoride. Yeah, we did Trust TV did a documentary on that, on a community in Kaduna State where there seemed to be some sort of hydrogen air coming off. I think it's coming from the Kaduna refinery, and this is something that is affecting them, and they say most of them right now cannot really see that well. Some of them are saying they are coughing,
affecting,
of course,
because you inhale and then your eyes.
Yes.
Imagine the smoke that comes out from a car. How exactly and peppery it is.
It is really polluted.
Definitely.
So imagine one of refinery now. So these people are calling for help, and we hope that the state government look into this. Nigeria was good to my generation, says Professor Jibrin at 70. Indeed, and this is something we've been saying here, saying for our own generation, talking about the youth now, Nigeria is difficult, and we keep saying that our parents had it better. Because at that time value of the naira was so strong. We had a very good working economy. There was no insecurity. You could easily stay outside your house. That's even at the rural area, because right now insecurity is even bedeviling the rural area, rural villages. Much more. But people could easily sit down and relax at the middle of the night and still feel safe. So yes, we agree with you. Nigerian was good in your generation, and we hope that this generation get to have a test of what you people had back then. Now below that, of course, there's an infography of the tax reform bill, of what is happening. Just like I said, Daily Trust went into deep dive to explain to Nigerians what it is all about. So you definitely need to have a copy of the Weekend Trust this Saturday and enjoy it all through the weekend. Now below that, we see why we detained investigative journalists. This is according to the army. Let's get to hear that, because we need more freedom for journalists to do their work, which is informing the people and holding the leaders accountable. Away from that, we see Masar Bauchi, a taste of northern goodness. Northern Nigeria, especially Nigeria in general, we do have amazing cultures, Fatima. But then Masar Bauchi is on another level.
The Bauchi Masar is addictive.
It's on another.
Use that word, because everywhere you go to and you taste the Bauchi Masar comparing to other states, you just know that Bauchi Masar is
different.
Top-notch.
One thing I love about it is,
I don't know what they put inside.
Yes.
But everybody in Bauchi knows how to make that.
And they are not giving us the clue of how to do it. Like, come on now, share. I thought we were one Nigeria.
But the good thing is, if you have the zeal to want to learn small skills, like maybe from Masar to frying Accra, I feel like there's no shame to whatever kind of business that brings money into your pocket. As far as it's going to help pay.
Pride. You're doing legitimate
pay your bills and take care of some necessary, basic amenities that you may need in the house. Things like Maggi, salt, and the rest. And at least you'll be able to eat maybe 3 times in a day.
No, that's the most important thing.
That does it for the main time. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually a lucrative business in Bauchi.
It is.
And it's coming down to Abuja, because you even see restaurants now, having the local. Yes. So we have one of ours having the local restaurant. So you imagine the Hausas also having that, and you just go there, you have the tuwo, kuka, and the rest. So
it's beautiful. What makes Nigeria really beautiful is every state, even when you're saying, okay, this particular place is for the Hausa community, this is for the Igbos, this is for the Yoruba, but every state has something unique about it, and that is the beauty of our country. So yeah, Masar Bauchi, I know how they do it in a way that it preserves more than other masses. Like I could literally keep it even without putting it in a cold place.
But I actually make it.
To start, nice. Okay, I'm going to eat myself, but I'm telling you next week. Fatima has to find a way. But yes, these are the stories that you would find on the Weekend Trust this Saturday.
That's a lot for people to go into. This weekend. Every weekend is always like that. So let's take a look at Punch this morning, and then the major story there says Port Harcourt refinery halts operations, loading bay empty, and the rider there says they are calibrating pump, says Petron. Now you can find these details on page 4, and then it says why I attended Islamic gatherings during Ramadan. This is coming from a prophet Ogundipe, and you can find this story on page 5.
I can imagine why he joined though. I can imagine why he joined. I remember when we were celebrating the World Language Day, I said it's good to learn other people's religion, it's good to learn other people's culture and tribes. And why you do need I'm urging Nigerians to teach their children to just learn. Not because you have to believe in it, but because you tend to understand and respect people's belief and people's culture. And if you do not listen, if something you're just hearing a hearsay around, you tend to make up your own judgment of things that you have no knowledge about. But then when you at least get to understand, then you have more respect and more perspective on people.
I like the fact that people don't actually discriminate when it comes to religion, even though we've seen that happen subsequently. But now people are getting to know more.
We're back to
we see the Christians trying to learn about Islam, and then also Muslims also trying to learn about the Christian way of life, studying the Bible, and trying to see the differences, what is said in this and what is not said here, and stuff like that. So this is also this has a way of bringing people together.
Exactly. I think that's the point.
And I give kudos to this prophet. One said he traveled and he went round looking for where to stay. He went to, I don't want to misquote, but he went to places, but nobody welcomed him. But when he went to a Muslim and they welcomed him, they allowed him sleep, and fed him and all that. And he's preaching in the church and making compliments
and
saying all that, which is this is how it's supposed to be. Talk about each other in a loving way,
exactly,
without discrimination.
And that's the responsibility on them. We're talking about our religious clerics, calling on people. We don't want a situation whereby maybe politics or something come and reach out to you, and then you people just brainwash your people. So instead, this is a call on you people to do right by your people, and which is sensitize, call your people on one love. Nigeria used to be so much love. We grew up fighting in a time where we knew nothing about religion. Everyone, your religion stays at home. You mingle, you play with each other, and all of that. So it's great that there is religious clerics coming out to say we are trying to understand
and it's good that we've seen a situation where they are taking out the Islamic clerics and certain people out of politics, which is good.
It has to be
so there shouldn't be this religion perspective to all
that. Indeed, that's great. So, and I'm talking about refinery of Port Harcourt, but I don't want to even address it because
we saw videos like
saying
everything was going well, and then all of a sudden it's halt.
First of all, I know for a fact that was there an announcement from the government?
We're just seeing it now on the newspaper.
Exactly. If at all we know our government will brag about something that is truly done.
There's a breaking news when there's going to be a seize of water, seize of light, roadblocks, and all that. But you don't see that happening anymore. So a lot of things are, I think the new era is coming with different things. So this is way back. Now
please, we need to go back to way back again. But we hope that the government check into what is happening in the refinery and do right by the people.
Well, you can find that story on page 25, and how Lagos violates street sweepers' rights to minimum wage. I mean, I was angry initially. I was I saw myself literally creating drama, just being a drama queen when I was reading that.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like the minimum wage will not reach everyone. There are people that their rights are going to be violated. They won't get this minimum wage. Every Nigerian is entitled to this minimum wage as far as you're working. So this is not nice, because these people sweep the roads. They try to make it clean.
They keep the community clean.
They keep the dirt that people, adults, pass, and there are trash bins by
which
the
should
road,
not
and
even be
not
happening.
even drop. And then these people go after them, cleaning after them, which is, and their rights are going to be violated for no reason.
And honestly, Fatima, these people are making
to what they're already earning.
And they're making sacrifice, standing on the street, sweeping.
From morning, when I was coming out, you need to see, I think I saw about 4 to 5 in just one road like this in my area, cleaning and sweeping. And you're saying they may not be able to have the minimum wage added to their salary.
Then other people, then the people with the minimum wage should come to the street and do the sweeping job. Honestly, I think people should be appreciated. There are some jobs that are more difficult than others.
This is actually really difficult.
Of course, where everybody passes and see you, and people tend to degrade you for that job and all of that. People need to be respected, because the more we keep making life difficult for people that do honest job, then the more we're pushing people to do the bad job. Yes. Yeah. So let's try to honor the people that are doing right.
So you can find these details on page 22 and 23. I'm scared of returning home. Nigeria's failed healthcare killed my mom. This is coming from a US-based businesswoman. You can find these details on page 28.
I don't blame you.
It's sad, when you see that, because the healthcare system in Nigeria it keeps fading. We just see certain places. When you see a good hospital to an extent that has the standard that you can a little bit compare it to what we see outside the country, they are private hospitals.
Are very expensive.
Yes.
Very expensive.
That's because the equipment are not owned by government. They bought them. And if you want the services, and they can, so this is the question, because every year I'm sure there is budget for all these facilities that is needed in every sector. I keep saying that health, education, road, whatever it is that needs repair, there's always a budget for that, so
we hope our government
we won't blame some Nigerians when they say this, because we know we live here. I remember Erifai saying anybody that lives in Lagos should go to should deserves to go to heaven, because of the hell
that is happening.
So you can find these details on page 28, and it's really sad because we keep seeing this happening. Reason I demanded 1 million from rapist policeman. This is coming from a dismissed female inspector. Well, this is even little as far as I'm concerned. She should have been asked to pay maybe more than 1 million. My 1 million is nothing, because he raped someone, and he deserves to go to pay the fine and then still go to prison. Doesn't matter who he is at this point. Find details on page 2, because these are the people that are supposed to protect people's lives, and when they keep doing this, you don't even know who to go to, because in every system there are corrupt people like this one.
Thank you very much.
Cannot tell, because it's not written on their foreheads that they are actually rapists or they are killers.
You brought that up. There is something that has been bugging me. Now you go to airport. I saw that I think the Minister of Aviation was talking about it just immediately I came back, talking about how they are going to hold people accountable. Now I think that we need training and retraining, because if there is one person or group of people that are respected after the president, Senate president, and the top people governing the country, it's the uniform men. And it's because the moment you say uniform man, you should feel relief, you should feel safe. But then you meet them, and these people are the one that want to extort from you. From the airport, you drop by as you're checking in, Fatima, they keep asking you, the immigration, the custom, and all of that. They keep asking you for money. Yes. You're coming back into the country, they're asking you for money. And I said to myself, if they can do it to me as a citizen, that means they're doing it to foreigners that are coming.
It has been happening.
And that is looking bad for our country.
Yeah, you remember the lady that was shuffling between Finland, I think, from coming the bike
we
rider.
Saw that.
So
really embarrassing.
That's a typical example of what you're saying. So
it is really embarrassing.
Happen.
I mean, we've come to a point where I think the politicians have, just because they're gifting these people, it has made them so entitled that they see you and they cannot even hold
it's not about the politicians, man. This is a personal stuff.
I mean people are losing integrity.
It's actually greed. That's nothing to do with politicians.
Someone said, Fatima, that it's because people have become so used to giving them, and that's why these people are taking it.
But because people give them because they want to give them. It's out of will, you know.
It's not a problem
for you to want to help, but it's a different thing when you keep asking different people for certain amount or to give you something.
And now, even if you earn well, that's my problem. Because you earn better than, we're just fighting for the right of sweepers.
Exactly.
You earn better than them.
Exactly.
You are in a very...
And you will never see those sweepers beg.
Exactly.
They mind their business. They sweep. They don't even look at you. They don't even know who is passing. I mean, kudos to the you know,
the people that are still holding on to their integrity and pride.
The common man knows what it means to have respect.
A black man is known to work, so please let's just hold on to our pride. And please, the head of this, you know, should I say organizations, army, the agencies should look into this. It's happening rapidly. People that are supposed to be respected are no longer respected, and it breaks my heart. This is my country. We have to make it better. Call on to the agencies
until something is done at the end of the day.
Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, you can find that details on page 2. And Lagos mom as court frees doctor accused of raping wife's niece. You know, remember the doctor that was I think that escalated on the videos that went round to the court and what have you. I think, so this is the case of that. You can find these details on page 10. Reps caucus mates as more lawmakers back Tinubu's tax bills. Well, this is, you know, we've talked about this, but I'm sure you're going to see a lot. You know, definitely the stories may not be the same, but you're going to definitely gain a lot from this. Go through page 7 for more details. Ekpan not bailable. Followers declare United States of Biafra in Finland. Now, this is also something that caught my attention, but definitely I would love to also go through this to see what is happening there. Go through page 8 for more details. And then Bam Bam, as usual, said the regular jobs can't sustain her personal lifestyle.
Indeed. So, it's good you said Well, good for you. Don't do other jobs.
You can find her details, you know, the stories on page 18 of the Punch this morning. So that's it for...
All right, let's move on to Saturday Vanguard. Top of the page there, it says judiciary disenfranchising Nigerians. Action Aid is saying cities Plateau, Lawan, or sites Plateau, Lawan, Atiku, Obi, and Edo's cases. Yeah, we've had that discussion even when Ondo election happened, talking about why should the judiciary be the final say of what happened in the vote. I think there should be maybe a group, you know, that should be created for that. Away from that, excuse me, we have Lagos 2027 Guber race. Opposition mounts against Sheyi Tinubu and Obasa. Outburst over Sheyi unnecessary. Interesting. I would want to get the details of that. I mean, why opposition will be bothered about the first son, talking about the son of the president, and how, you know, that they felt threatened, you know, talking about 2027. But if you want the details of that, you'd have to pick the Vanguard and check page 29. Main story, of course, on the Vanguard is replicating the main story of the Weekend Trust, which is Tinubu's tax reform will destroy Nigeria. Now, this is according to Governor of Borno State, Governor Zulum. We may not be able to pay salaries if bills are passed. Now, that is one of the most scariest things to happen in the northern part of the country. Says some southwest and southeast states may also have problems. This you'd find on page 7. Southeast black spots where gunmen reign while security forces focus on extortion revealed. Fatima, this is what we're just talking about. You know, talking about the southeast, like there is black spots. There are particular dark areas that gunmen are bothering people about. But then the security that's supposed to be protecting those angles, they are busy extorting people. Let me tell you, there was this scenario that happened in the city of Abuja. That's about 2 years ago, around December period, where it was a 30th of December. Everyone has traveled, or 31st. Everyone has traveled, so it's the
town is clear.
The town was not quiet and all of that.
Can't see.
So 31st, we drove into the city around 9-ish, and I was on my phone, and then someone just removed it. my husband wanted to go. I'm like, please just stay. They should just take the phone. Your safety is all that matters.
The window is down, right?
The window was down, but just a bit, because he was so cautious about the window. And then it happened just yet in Wuse, and then we drove a bit, and there was a police checkpoint, and we said, oh, there was a thing that just snatched a phone just around here. And do you know what we're told? Oh yeah, that place, that's how they do. So I'm like, if this is a spot, why are you here?
Why are you not there?
Why are you not there?
Why is the checkpoint not at that spot?
That was the confusion for us. And we got pissed off about what's
it's sad, because you're talking about a couple of years and just refreshing your mind to certain things. I remember when there are some armed robberies or attacks on the road when people are traveling, and then you meet a checkpoint and you tell them there's
something behind.
Some of them actually even fled from the checkpoint because they don't have the guns that these armed robbers actually have. So what is happening to the Nigerian system, like the security system, there's a lot that
and that brings us back to the reform, Mr. President. You have to give people enough for you to take enough from them. People are no longer secure in our country, honestly. So a lot needs to be done from the governor side, not only the president but also state governors as well, and even our representative. We hope we see better when it comes to doing best by the people. Now beside that, we see Ebenezer Obey unleashes scathing song against a rumor on Adenuga. All right, I don't know the details of that, but you can find out on page 19. Obal Group to commence a full banking operation in France. That's the UBA Group, I beg your pardon. You'll find that on page 3. Don't Japa CBN building economy where everybody can thrive. Cardoso begs Nigerians. Fatima, why are you laughing? I think if you want to give people reason not to, I am an advocate of staying back in your country, fighting for your country, demanding that your country do great.
It's always also good to change environment and just go for clarity and get your grips together and come back. So traveling out maybe for a year or two, just so you can see what you can make out of there, and then just come back home and see how you can put that into a business or invest in something that will yield more fruits for you. Then it's totally fine. But don't leave the country at the end of the day.
Let me use American example. Americans are known for not traveling because they feel their country is the best.
Yeah.
For when the World Cup happened in Qatar, they went there and became like villagers.
Yes.
Do you get? So that is because
they don't like to travel like that. But there are a lot of them that actually go for tourism.
But it is because their country is great. As much as people,
how many Dubai UAE people do you see here?
So exactly. So honestly, it speaks well for deserted countries. We're talking about desertification. Countries that have desert. That's mostly the Arabs country, Dubai, Qatar.
How many people from Dubai do you see them coming to Nigeria?
Fatima, as of the time that Olusegun Obasanjo was the president, Qatar was not this Qatar. And at that time, there was this saying that the president of Qatar came to Nigeria asking for loan from the president of Nigeria.
Exactly.
And Olusegun Obasanjo, former president, asked him, how are you going to pay? But look at how they did. So the difference is the political will to make your country great.
I read something about former president saying how he used ICPC and the EFCC, if I'm not mistaken, to pay certain debts in the country because of the money that they're getting from the Londoners that launder money out of the country, from the Yahoo boys that they get to all this money. They give it back to the country where they, like what happened to Hush Puppy, they can return back the money. And then for the one that is for Nigeria, it's being used to settle debt. So if you check certain policies that worked for certain presidents, you'll be wondering what's happening.
Yes, I think there should be more of collaboration. I mean, just sitting down in a closed room with the past leaders. Saying what is wrong. Yes, what is wrong? What should we do? Where are we losing our trip? There is no pride in it.
You always see the presidents, maybe people campaigning for or going for a particular seat, always going to meet the past president You see them go to meet Babangida, Gowon, and Olusegun Obasanjo and the rest, because they tend to talk and, you know, get some wisdom, like you said, you know, and then try to guide them. But do they even listen? It's different to talk and it's different to take action.
Indeed, a really sad situation there. All right, there's good news. A flight resumption to UAE. We're talking about Dubai. Okay, fears as federal government and UAE agreement places Nigerian carriers in disadvantaged position. All right, I thought that was great news, but it seems we're still stuck. We'll just have to wait and see how that agreement pans out, and hope that our government will be able to get a better, you know, agreement for us. So yeah, these are the stories that you'd find on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And with that, of course, we would wrap up this segment. I hope that you can be able to pick one or two of the newspaper to enjoy through the weekend and equip yourself with knowledge, because we have to know what's happening in our country so that we can be as much stakeholders as everyone else. With that, we'll take a break, and when we come back, it will be time for us to open the phone line and hear from you. So stay with us.